We have an extreme heat warning for the entire viewing area today. It could feel like up to 112 or hotter. I'll show you how many more days we'll have this extreme heat.
And ceasefire in effect. Hours ago, President Trump proclaims a truce between Israel and Iran. The new developments overnight that are already putting that in jeopardy.
Right now, there's a large police presence in Durham. The WRAL breaking news tracker is there on the scene as officers there have crime tape up all over this residential neighborhood. We'll take you there in just minutes. It's 4:30 right now. We do have another weather alert day. We've gotten used to this, and but the cumulative effect starts to set in now. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey in for an H2. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, with all of that in mind, let's get right over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Probably one of the hottest days we've seen so far.
We did hit 100 yesterday. We'll likely hit maybe a couple of degrees above that. And this is a very rare extreme heat warning. We just don't see these very often, certainly not every year. Heat index up to 112. That's going to be for the entire viewing area. So here's a look. Who's going to see 112? Lewisburg, Rocky Mount, South Hill, 113 Roxborough, 111 Benson and Goldsboro, as well as Clinton, 110 Sanford, 108 and Southern Pines. So again, extreme heat in our forecast for today. It is hot out there already. Our dew point's way up at 75 and it's almost 80 degrees. We're just not cooling things down at night, and that is what helps to keep things so hot. This is a look at the heat index. By 10 a.m. it's 90, feeling like 93. By lunchtime it feels like 103. So again, you have a very small window this morning to be outside and when it is safe. And of course, it continues to stay very hot well through the evening. Looking ahead to tomorrow, we'll see another extreme heat warning, but also a level 2 risk for severe storms. We're going to walk through our potential for some showers and storms tonight and into tomorrow coming up.
You have that breaking news we're following right now. Durham police have part of East Umstead Street taped off. They've been there for about 2 hours now. Ali Kadlubar is there in the WRAL breaking news tracker. Ali, what information have you been able to gather there this morning?
Yes, Jeff, well, just in the past 5 minutes, we have seen additional detectives pull up to the scene right here. I've reached out to Durham police multiple times throughout the past hour and a half, but we have not gotten confirmation on what happened here on Umstead Street. But we want to show you and give you an idea of what we're seeing. And take a look at this video from the WRAL breaking news tracker. This was from around 3:30 this morning. You can see officers shining flashlights at about a dozen evidence markers on the sidewalk. Officers and detectives also shining flashlights on trees and nearby bushes. Now, this is at the intersection of Umstead and Dawkins Streets. We are still working to find out what happened. We did hear on police radio traffic that there was a possible shooting, possibly multiple victims. But again, we have not gotten confirmation on that. We are working to find out if there was a suspect and if in the condition of possible victims. But we have seen police searching Fayetteville Street and also this section, this area behind me as well, pointing their flashlights and looking for something. We're going to keep you updated throughout the morning. Reporting in Durham, Ali Kadlubar, WRAL News.
And breaking news in the Middle East this morning. President Donald Trump says a ceasefire is in place between Israel and Iran. However, Israel says Iran is still launching missiles. Here's what's happened overnight. President Trump posted to Truth Social just after 1 a.m. saying the ceasefire is now in effect and warning that it should not be violated. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel accepts the terms and added his country has achieved its war goals against Iran. Israel says it has identified missiles launched from Iran after the ceasefire was set to begin.
Durham police are investigating after they say a 4-year-old boy was killed in an apparent accidental shooting. Officers found the child around 9 o'clock last night on North Briggs Avenue. EMS took him to a local hospital where he later died. 911 recordings from the Durham City Fire Department painted an emotional scene.
52 Durham, can I please get a chaplain to the scene for disturbed mother?
Chaplain's already been notified.
It is unclear where the child got the gun and no word on charges yet.
Today, we expect to get an update on the ongoing issues with the heating and cooling in Wake County schools. Superintendent Robert Taylor is set to go before the school board today during a work session. More than 60 schools have missed at least one day of school in the past 2 years because their heating or air conditioning was not working. You can find out more and follow our coverage today at the education section of WRAL.com.
It's a good first step, but officials need to go further, they say. That's the reaction from the family of Tyrone Mason after learning Highway Patrol dismissed 2 troopers who lied about a deadly crash. Body camera video recorded Sergeant Matthew Morrison telling Trooper Garrett Macario to lie about the chase to responding RPD officers. Both men were let go from their positions June 16th after being suspended in January. The attorney for Tyrone Mason's family says State Highway Patrol still has a lot of work to do.
You don't dismiss over 100 cases. You don't fire officers if everything was done by the book. And I think, the video speaks for itself.
The community knew that the firing of these officers was the right thing to do.
Mason's family is currently suing former Trooper Macario and is in the process of suing the Raleigh Police Department. We reached out to both Macario and Morrison for comment. Both declined and referred us to their attorneys.
5 people are recovering from injuries after an American Airlines spokesperson says a flight from Miami to Raleigh encountered turbulence. They say 3 of those people were flight attendants, 2 were customers. Airport rescue personnel, along with Wake and Durham EMS, met the flight when it landed on Sunday. One passenger compared the flight to a roller coaster that may never end.
The whole cart went up, the flight attendants went up. Cups went everywhere, ice, sticks, all that stuff was just, sort of like flying all around.
American Airlines sent us a statement that reads in part, "We thank our crew members for their professionalism and our customers for their understanding." Some passengers questioned the explanation that turbulence caused those injuries.
We're working to learn more about a car that was pulled out of a lake Monday. Sky 5 flew over the scene off Serenity Lake Drive near Wake Forest. Officials say a Hyundai Sonata, reported stolen in 2024, was pulled out of that water. Wake County deputies are still working to learn how the car ended up in the lake.
And police are investigating after they say a Facebook marketplace meetup turned into an armed robbery. The Wilson Sheriff's Office says it happened on Monday afternoon on U.S. Highway 301 in the town of Lucama. They say the suspect used a fraudulent post to lure the victim, then waved a gun and stole money from them. The suspect was last seen running from U.S. 301 toward Oak Street.
The Trump administration cannot stop Harvard from welcoming international students to its campus. A federal judge indefinitely blocked the administration's attempt to stop the university from accepting international students. The Trump administration accused Harvard of not properly vetting incoming scholars from other countries. The same judge is expected to decide this summer on a major legal challenge from Harvard against the Trump administration's decision to cut its federal grants.
The Department of Homeland Security is granting federal funds to help Florida build an immigration center. Alligator Alcatraz will hold detainees awaiting deportation. The facility is expected to be built on an abandoned airfield in the Everglades. Secretary Kristi Noem says the funding will come from FEMA's Shelter and Services Program. It allocates funding to cities who take in recently released migrants and asylum seekers.
McDonald's faces a new nationwide boycott today over rollbacks to diversity efforts and other grievances. The advocacy group, the People's Union USA, is behind it. It's the same group that previously backed boycotts of Target and Walmart. McDonald's in January altered its DEI initiatives, including no longer setting goals to increase diversity in senior leadership. But the company says while some DEI language is different, the core of its program has not changed.
Coming up, weight loss innovations, the new breakthroughs that may make the drugs easier to take and with fewer injections.
A medical mission. A Durham woman is following her dream to become a doctor. Personal setbacks that inspired her and how a nonprofit is giving her help.
And today is another WRAL Weather Alert Day. We'll take a live look from our Garner Tower. It is going to be a hot one today. We're facing an extreme heat warning as the feels-like temperature may go above 110. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with the newest forecast for the heat wave that may continue into the weekend.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It's 4:42 and we have an extreme heat warning, which is a very rare thing for us here. The heat index could easily feel like 110 to 112. It's something that we've only seen 8 times in the last 80 years. And all those 8 times are since 1999, but still something that we just don't see very often. So we need everybody to take this seriously today. When you step outside, you just kind of get hit with a wall of big, humid, disgusting feeling air, really. 77 In Raleigh, 79 in Durham, and 78 in Fayetteville. And of course, we're looking at clear skies right now. We do have the potential for some showers and thunderstorms tonight and into the day tomorrow. But for today, there's really nothing coming along that's going to make it feel any cooler. We hit the triple digits in terms of the heat index starting at noon, and that continues well into the evening.
A lawsuit that could transform how and where real estate listings are shared online is headed to court. Compass claims Zillow's website engages in anti-competitive practices to dominate digital home listings. The lawsuit centers on a new rule from Zillow that Compass claims could make it or would make it harder, if not impossible, for home sellers to list their property outside of Zillow.
The U.S. Supreme Court rejected R. Kelly's appeal to have his racketeering and sex trafficking charges overturned. The singer was sentenced to 30 years in prison for the convictions. His attorneys told the justices that prosecutors inflated the use of the act in their definition of the word enterprise. The justices did not give an explanation for not hearing the case. And WRAL has reported R. Kelly was at Duke Hospital earlier this month after his attorneys say he suffered an overdose. His attorneys argue that prison officials purposely gave him an overdose of medication while in solitary confinement at the federal prison in Butner. His lawyer says jailers have a murder plot against Kelly.
Doctors are embracing new innovations in weight loss drugs that may make them easier to take and require injections less often. Drug maker Amgen says it has developed a longer-lasting GLP-1 injection that patients can take once a month instead of once a week like other popular medications. Eli Lilly says its GLP-1 pill is showing promising results and could be widely available next year. It would be first oral weight loss drug research. It'll be the first oral weight loss drug. Researchers are also working on a new combination of drugs that could help patients lose weight without losing muscle mass.
A mission to serve the community that raised her. The 25-year-old Durham native, that's her there. She says that she's experiencing health inequities in her own childhood has inspired her dreams to become a doctor. WRAL health reporter Grace Haba introduces us to the nonprofit helping students like her turn passion into purpose.
What do you want to be when you grow up? It's a question Kelsey Lewis says she's only ever had one answer for.
I really want to become a doctor and practice medicine.
Now sitting on campus at UNC.
I just knew.
The 25-year-old is just weeks away from starting med school in Chapel Hill in the fall, as the journey to make her childhood dreams a reality begins.
It really just feels like I'm following my destiny and I'm really living in my purpose.
The East Durham native shared her goal doesn't end with getting her white coat, but with returning home to serve a community that's given so much to her.
Having grown up in underserved communities and seen the health disparities and the ongoing health equity issues, it really motivated me to pursue a career in medicine.
Lewis is one of more than 250 students who have received financial support through the 15 White Coats, a nonprofit working to increase diversity in medicine.
The financial barriers to becoming a physician began long before med school.
The organization shares just 5% of all U.S. physicians are Black and 9% are Hispanic, with 77% of minority students nationwide citing cost as the main reason for not attending med school.
MCAT prep, registration, primary, secondary applications, traveling for interviews, and more. That can exceed $6,000 up to $10,000, $12,000 before a student even receives an acceptance.
These resources were a game changer for me.
Lewis says one day she hopes to become a mentor with the organization, saying that seeing others achieve their goals has helped make hers feel more in reach.
That will be my goal, is to serve them, serve the people of my community, be present, and pour into them just as much they poured into me.
In Chapel Hill, Grace Haba, WRAL News.
Oh, wow, she's fantastic. To date, the 15 White Coats organization has provided more than $700,000 in assistance to minority students looking to pursue careers in medicine.
It's become so hot in some parts of the country, the roads are buckling. Look at this. The roads buckled across several states, including Missouri and South Dakota. Sometimes roads will buckle when the temperatures reach these extreme heat, and the gaps in the pavement just aren't big enough to handle the large expansions, so the two segments kind of butt up against each other and cause a break or a ridge in those roads. Yesterday we saw some video of cars taking flight after roads buckled and hitting them. that used to be flat before the heat. Elizabeth Gardner over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Just one of the other dangers you wouldn't think of out there, right?
Right. And, you know, if you think that it can buckle the pavement, think about what it can do to you if you're not being careful outside. So we encourage that today of all days. An extreme heat warning, which is a very rare thing for us. The heat index easily feeling like 110 to 112 or even hotter than that all across the viewing area. Our peak heat index today likely to be right around 112 or above. We've only seen that 8 times since 1948, all of those since 1999. So this is a very rare occurrence for us. And, you know, it's just one of those days you got to take it seriously. Yes, we have hot summers here, but this is going to be something extreme. The heat index 104 to 112 for pretty much the rest of the week, and that's for the entire viewing area. We have, of course, for today and tomorrow, WRAL weather alert days. We may have to add that to some of the other days this week as well. This is a look at downtown Raleigh, where it's 79 with a dew point of 75, and that's a very uncomfortable air mass as you walk out the door. It is 77 in Rocky Mount, 75 in Goldsboro, 75 in Southern Pines. That's 79 here in Durham and Raleigh. So this is going to be probably the coolest temperature or our overnight low. 80 degrees is the warmest overnight low we've ever seen. We're almost sitting at that right now. 75 in Clayton, 79 in Morrisville, and in Apex, 76 right now in Holly Springs. We did hit 100 yesterday. That tied the record. 102 for today in Raleigh, 103 Durham, 101 in Fayetteville. And of course, that is all thanks to this big high pressure system that's sitting here. Now, we will see a low that tries to sneak in under it. That's going to help to bring us a chance for thunderstorms tomorrow. Maybe some of those develop overnight tonight. We're going to talk more about that coming up. We will likely break the record today. The previous record, 100, and then 99 is the record for tomorrow, and we could hit 100 for tomorrow. So what do? Well, you actually may want to actually raise your temperature. One thing you don't want to do is lose your AC during this. So put the temperature, you know, maybe up to 75, 78, whatever you can stand and still stay healthy. And then set your ceiling fans to counterclockwise. We look ahead to tomorrow. We have another extreme heat risk in our forecast for tomorrow. We also have a level 2 risk for some severe storms. That might help to drop our temperatures just a little bit, but it's probably going to happen so late that it won't help us there. After that, we continue with very hot conditions and a chance of some storms. I'll show you when the best chances are coming up.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. Out of this world, new images from the largest camera ever built. It shows stars thousands of light years away. The connection scientists at Duke have to these unprecedented pictures.
Also, saving on your phone bill in the next hour. 500 Side reveals the easy way to save big bucks without sacrificing service. Duke women's basketball coach Kara Lawson has a new assignment this summer. She is now the head coach of the USA Women's Basketball AmeriCup team. The team is made up of some of college basketball's best players, and the USA women will be looking for gold. Lawson says this opportunity is special for her as a former Team USA player herself.
To coach in a competition that I played in is kind of cool as well. Delisha, my assistant coach, one of my teammates from the Olympics, we played in the AmeriCup in 2007 in Chile as players, and were able to come away with the gold. And now to be able to coach the team is kind of a really cool full circle moment.
Team USA will begin playing the AmeriCup tournament Saturday, and they'll wrap up July 6th.
New music from Maroon 5 and Netflix giving us another inside look at the lives of NFL quarterbacks. Douglas Hyde has your Hollywood Minute.
New music is on the way from Maroon 5. Love Is Like, their first album in more than 4 years, drops August 15th. They're also launching a U.S. arena tour, which kicks off in October.
This life is definitely not normal.
He's the most popular figure we have.
That's my man, Joe Burrow.
It's everywhere.
Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow brings the cool factor to season 2 of Quarterback. The Netflix series takes an in-depth look at Burrow and fellow QBs Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins, both on and off the field. Quarterback premieres July 8th. Dolly Parton hasn't done a concert series in Las Vegas in 32 years. That's finally set to change, though. The music legend just announced a 6-concert stint there. Her mini residency, Dolly Live in Las Vegas, will run at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace in December. In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
Astronomers gathered at Duke University to see images of space. This was a watch party at the Devil's Deck at Wallace Wade Stadium. The Vera Rubin Observatory, where those images are captured, is in Chile. Researchers from Duke were involved in its construction.
Right. In fact, this is a really big screen, but even the detail of the screen is such that you can't see all the detail in the pictures. The images that come from the Rubin Observatory are so large and so detailed that you actually have to kind of zoom in to see all the detail. It's hard to see it all on one screen.
Still pretty amazing. The observatory will scan the entire southern sky every few nights, tracking everything from asteroids to galaxies billions of light years away. It's expected to collect more data in a year than all previous sky surveys combined.
Pretty cool. All right, school meal costs. Today, Wake County schools will consider raising the price of breakfast and lunch. How much more your student may need to pay at the cafeteria.
And right now there's a large police presence at a scene in Durham, and this is a live look right now from the WRAL breaking news tracker of what is going on there. We'll tell you what we've learned in the last 5 minutes about what happened.
And first came the ceasefire, then claims that Iran broke that agreement. Coming up at 5 o'clock, we'll show you this damage and how Iran is responding to it.